The greatest heroic last stand in history, the Battle of the Little Bighorn.
The Battle of the Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand, was a military engagement that took place on June the 25th to the 26th, 1876, between the United States Army and the combined forces of the Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes. The battle took place in Montana Territory, near the Little Bighorn River. Background: in the 1870s, tensions between the U.S. government and Native American tribes in the western United States were high. The discovery of gold in the Black Hills of South Dakota had led to increased settlement by white Americans in the area, in violation of treaties that had been signed with the tribes. The government responded by sending military expeditions to the region to enforce its authority and protect white settlers. The U.S. Army, led by Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, was tasked with confronting the Native American tribes and forcing them onto reservations. Custer was an experienced cavalry commander who had distinguished himself in the Civil War, but his tactics in the Indian Wars were often reckless and aggressive. The battle, on June 25, 1876, Custer's regiment of around 700 soldiers engaged the Native American forces near the Little Bighorn River. Custer had divided his forces into 3 groups, with the intention of surrounding the Native American encampment and attacking from all sides. However, Custer's plan was flawed. The Native American forces were larger than he had anticipated, with estimates ranging from 1,500 to 2,500 warriors. In addition, Custer's men were poorly equipped and outnumbered, with many of them armed only with single-shot Springfield rifles. The battle began with a surprise attack by the Native American forces on one of Custer's groups, led by Major Marcus Reno. Reno's men were quickly overwhelmed, and many were killed or wounded. Custer, who was leading another group, then moved to support Reno's forces, but his men were also quickly surrounded and outnumbered. Custer and all of his men were killed in the ensuing battle. Some accounts suggest that Custer and a few of his men made a last stand on a small hill, known as Last Stand Hill, before being overrun by the Native American forces. Others suggest that Custer was killed earlier in the battle, along with most of his men. Aftermath: the Battle of the Little Bighorn was a significant victory for the Native American forces, who had successfully defended their territory against a much larger and better equipped enemy. However, the victory was short-lived. The U.S. government responded by sending additional troops to the region, and within a year, the Native American tribes were defeated and forced onto reservations. The battle also had a significant impact on the public perception of Native Americans and the U.S. government's treatment of them. Custer became a martyr and a symbol of American bravery and patriotism, while the Native American forces were depicted as savages and enemies of progress. However, in recent years, there has been